Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Argo Nguyen, and today let's take a look at how my portfolio is doing after the first earnings week of this quarter. The four companies that I will be going over today is UnitedHealth Group, Microsoft, SoFi, and Meta. Why? Because these are the companies that I have in my portfolio at the moment. So this week, a lot of different companies has been reporting their earnings. Notably, UnitedHealth Group, Northrop Grumman, Texas Instruments, FICO, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, and even Apple, and the small bank called SoFi. First off, let's talk about UnitedHealth Group. And there has been a sudden cut in its stock price recently because of regulatory changes and a very, very small increase in Medicare rates. This has made UnitedHealth Group decide that they need a strategic reset plan. So why is this negative news for UnitedHealth Group? It is because analysts and insurers have been expecting a 4 to 6% increase in rates because of inflation. But right now, the Trump administration has only increased the rate by 0.09%, essentially a flat rate. And that is way below what is needed to cover rising inflation and treatment costs. So the former CEO, Stephen Hemsley, has returned back as CEO to do a back to basics reset. The company plans to cut $1 million in operating costs in 2026. And this is leading to using AI to automate around 80% of all of its members' calls and also to workflow functions. So let's take a look at how the stock is doing right now. As we can see, the stock price has decreased year to date around 12%. That is a lot compared to this S&P 500, which has increased around 1 to 2%. And in the UnitedHealth Group reports, they have said that they are adjusting a lot of new technologies and artificial intelligence. And these are making it more accessible and affordable for members. So the Trump administration has proposed a much smaller than expected increase in the Medicare Advantage rates. And this is causing every single health insurer's price to drop. And this is, according to some people, reinforces downside risk to Medicare Advantage profitability and highlights regulatory uncertainty as a near-term headwind for insurers' share. So if you have UnitedHealth Group in your portfolio right now, expect a short-term loss for a long-term gain. Now, why do I say that? It is because the fundamentals of UnitedHealthcare is still strong and they are still a large company in the insurance sector. Now let's move on to Microsoft. Microsoft has delivered a 2.80% increase while the S&P 500 has gained 18.75% since the beginning of 2025. Even though recently revenue and even earnings per share has reached more than what is expected of Microsoft, there is still a big sell-off on the 29th of January. And why is that? It is because there is a growth ceiling that is perceived in Azure, which is the company's cloud business. Now, there is growing scrutiny over the quality of revenue derived from OpenAI. And because Microsoft is a large investor and a cloud provider to OpenAI, some investors think this is a circular finance problem where Microsoft invested in OpenAI and now OpenAI is contributing revenue back to Microsoft. That means that 45% of the revenue that comes from data backlog of Microsoft comes from OpenAI. And that is a big concern for investors because you don't want to concentrate too much on one specific business. There is no diversification in the revenue that is coming from data backlog. And that is why there is a negative sentiment that comes to this quarter's abnormally high reports from Microsoft, even though it beats expectations. But I think I will remain invested in Microsoft because the long-term sentiment is largely positive. Now, even though it has been dropping around 10 to 15% in the last few days. This doesn't mean that the fundamentals of Microsoft is broken. What's in the future for Microsoft? So Microsoft has been developing a new memory that is called the Maya 200. And since it's advertised to triple the performance of Amazon's Trainium chip and also Alphabet's Ironwood Tensor Processing Unit, the TPU, then Microsoft is poised to succeed in making a chip that is revolutionary. But I remain very, very skeptical about this because up until this point, Microsoft has been one of the laggards when it comes to AI development. Why is that? It is because the most popular thing with AI right now is the AI models, which Google has Gemini and OpenAI has ChatGPT. But Microsoft Copilot has not been the talk of the town ever since the AI revolution started. It's there, people use it. I personally don't use it, but it is a good diversification of the technology capex that Microsoft is spending on a lot of different sectors. Next up, we have Meta. Meta has been doing fantastic. It is now up to 10% year to date, and recently it has hit a $2 trillion milestone, bringing the company's valuation to $2 trillion. And this is about $170 billion into the market capitalization in a single session. For the fourth quarter of 2025, Meta has beat Wall Street's expectation in revenue and in earnings per share. So what's going on with Meta at this point? So Meta has said that the capex in 2026 would climb to $115 billion. This means that this is a growth of 73% from the year before. Now, why is the stock still climbing even though they're spending so much on a gamble, basically? It is because Meta has proven that its underlying business is still intact. And investors are finally giving them the green light to start investing more and more and more in AI. What's new is that also Meta is developing Project Avocado and its agentic AI. Now, what does that mean? It means that this investment portion is a code name for Meta's next generation reasoning engine, which aims to move beyond simple chat to agentic AI. That means that no longer you have to search up, like for example, when you go to Facebook Messenger, there is a little AI chat that helps you look for stuff in your chat. But now it's more of an agent, a personal assistant. It is no longer you can use for just searching or scanning your chats. It is now an agent across all of your social media. This is huge news for Meta, and the $2 trillion company will be investing in this, and investors are very confident that Meta is doing well. So how is Meta's revenue going to increase in 2026? So let's say that the AI works out and the new project is being pushed to fully developed in the next year. Then it means that these improvements can increase people's time spent on Instagram, Facebook a lot, and even Threads, the new AI, the new Meta platform, will be seeing huge growth in users globally. What's new is that even WhatsApp now has an AI agent, opens new monetization for small enterprises. This means that all of Meta's platforms are now a part of the revenue of the company. So in my personal opinion, this company will be doing just fine. I believe that Meta will be doing very well in the next quarters or even the next year. And I am glad that I have invested in this company before this jump in price. Let's take a look at SoFi. So essentially, SoFi is a smaller bank compared to, Bank of America and Chase, but its growth has been very consistent over the past few quarters. And since the last quarter, SoFi has added 1 million new members, now reaching around 14 million members. This means that SoFi is attracting more customers, and now it has achieved a 37% year-over-year revenue growth. This is a company that's trading at a 57 PE ratio, and even though it looks like a lot, this is a company that is growing very, very fast. And as a technology company that's going very fast, then the PE ratio should be higher as well. So let's take a look at what SoFi is doing nowadays. SoFi has reached its first ever billion-dollar quarter, which is $1.013 billion. That's up 37% year over year. And with an earnings per share of 13 cents, it's reaching 160 increase from the prior year. This means that SoFi has been showcasing a lot of expansion in users, in loans, and even personal finance. SoFi is also launching new initiatives for 2026, and those include some of the business banking and also some digital asset features, such as the stablecoin. So in my opinion, I'm still very bullish in SoFi. And since that SoFi is trading at a relatively low price, I would think that it can reach up to $30 or even $40 in the next year. That's almost a 100% increase in its price. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be going over the next week as Amazon, as Palantir, and even a lot of different companies that I own will be reporting their earnings as well. So stay in tuned, and I'll see you guys in the comments or see you guys in the next video.